welcome to an ELA Training Services video for maths. Today we're going to look at BIDMAS. Some people call it BIDMAS, some people call it BODMAS, and other people call it order of operations. It's all the same thing, and it's something that allows us to correctly identify the order of operations to allow us to complete calculations correctly. By the end of the session, you'll know how to do it, and hopefully we'll feel quite confident in using BODMAS. So let's look at some calculations. As you can see, all the numbers are the same. They're in the same order, they're in the same structure, but they're not in the same format. So what does that mean? That means that here, for example, the question is split into a bracketed question, a multiplication, and up here, these are called indices or orders. Because of the way that they're laid out, it means that each time you do your calculation, whether it be in this format, or this format, or this format, or this format, you're going to get a different answer each time. That's because of BODMAS. So what is BODMAS? Well, it's a mnemonic. It's a mnemonic that allows us to break down the order of operations into step-by-step chunks. So the B stands for brackets. That means we always do the brackets first. If there are no brackets, you can just miss that step out. But if there are brackets, they must be done first. I stands for indices. Remember the little number that floats small against other numbers? Indices. And what those numbers mean is it wants you to times the number that it's sitting next to by itself the amount of times that it states. Okay, so for example, the one we looked at a moment ago said 3 with a small 2 next to it. The small 2 wants you to do 3 times 3 like that. So 3 times itself twice. D stands for division. M stands for multiplication. A for addition, and S for subtraction. As we already know, multiplication and division are opposites of each other, as are addition and subtraction opposites. You may also see it in this strange triangle format. It essentially means the same thing, it's just a higher level of showing it. So let's look at some examples. Now, in this example up here at the top, 2 plus 3 times 4. So remember, by following BODMAS, you have to do the multiplication first. So we're going to do 2 plus 3 times 4. Now there's no brackets, so we just have to do 3 times 4 first, which we know is 12. And then we're going to add the 2. So when you add the 2 to 12, we should get 14. For the next question, here, again, no brackets, no indices, so we first look for multiplication or division. There is no division, but there is multiplication, so let's do that side first. 2 times 6 is 12. And 7 minus 12 is your next step. It's always helpful to write them out step by step so you can follow where you're going. If you have a highlighter in the exam, you can use it to highlight the question, but you cannot highlight your answers or your workings out, so just bear that in mind. So as we said, we're going to do 2 times 6, which is 12, 7 take away 12, which is minus 5. Lastly, our third question over here, 3 plus 5 times 4 divided by 2. Now there's a lot more functions in this question. So the first thing we have to do is go step by step through BIDMAS. Are there any brackets? No. Are there any indices? No. Is there any division? Yes. So let's do the division section first. So 4 divided by 2, I'm going to write it out as 4 divided by 2 is 2. The next thing we look at is there any multiplication? Well, there is, times 5. 2 times 5 is 10. What's the third element we have to do? Addition. Plus the 3 that's there, should give you an answer of 13. And if we follow the highlighting through, we're doing the multiplication and the division first, then the addition to get 13. So we'll have some more practice and then you can try some on your own. Let's do the first question together. 7 plus 8 times 3. So remember, if you need to write it down, BIDMAS, brackets, indices, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. They're the order it has to go in. Are there any brackets in question 1? No. Is there any indices in question 1? No. Is there any division in question 1? No. But there is multiplication. So here we need to multiply 8 by 3. For those of us that aren't confident with our 8 times table, it's just 8 plus 8 plus 8 to get 24. See? The next thing we do is the last part of the question. Fill in the blanks. 7 plus 24, which gives us an overall answer of 24 plus 7, 21. Oops, my pen's decided to not work right now. That is a 3. 31. Remember, there's no shame in not knowing your times tables. If it is a struggle for you, times tables is just adding the same number to itself again and again and again. So if you have the space and you have the time and you need the confidence boost, just add them up number by number. Let's try 2. Again, no brackets, no indices, no division, but we do start with multiplication. 4 times 2 is the same as 4 plus 4, which is 8. So we know that that's 8. This time, we fill the other side in. 20 minus 8 gives us 12. And that's your answer, 12. 17 plus 3 times 6. Remember, it's easy to make mistakes, it's easy to get confused, but with your exam questions that look something like this, always write down BIDMAS or BODMAS. It will remind you of what you need to do. I'm going to skip ahead and do number 6 now, because number 6 is different. So number 6 has brackets. It has 9, take away 6, in brackets. 9 take away 6 is 3. Add in the other side of the multiplication division sum. 12 divided by 3 is, and for those of us that prefer to use the bus stop method, 12 divided by 3. 12 doesn't go into 1, but it does go into 12. So you can have, again, division is just multiplication backwards. So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus another 3 is 9, plus another 3 is 12. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 divided by 3 is 4. That's your overall answer. Feel free to have a go at the other ones on the screen yourself, and for any additional help and support, always ask your tutor.